Let's turn to the Middle East now, where Israel has made it easier for settlers to buy land in the West Bank. The Israeli cabinet signed off on the measures on Sunday. Some Palestinians are calling it a de facto annexation. Israeli officials, some of them arguing they are necessary for security, claiming the establishment of an independent Palestinian state would be a threat to Israel. Cameron McIntosh with more from Jerusalem.
Hey, David. So this has been playing out for some time here, coming to a head today with the latest policy. And what Israel is basically doing is it is declaring land in the occupied West Bank as state territory. Now, this is land that is internationally recognized as Palestinian territory and has been set aside for a future Palestinian state. Now, pushing this plan is far-right Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. He is a West Bank settler who has openly dismissed the notion of what he calls the two-state delusion. Basically, what this policy will allow is for Israelis for the first time to actually buy land in the West Bank and make legal claims to land. So in theory, someone could say, my great-grandfather used to farm up on that plateau 70 years ago. That land, therefore, should be in my family, and they can start a legal process to try to claim it.
Let's talk about some of the reaction, because there is plenty of it, some of it coming from outside the country, some inside the country. Let's talk about those who see this as the de facto annexation of Palestinian land.
Yeah, so we're talking about a lot of people here, David. This applies to about 60% of the West Bank, somewhere between 180 and 300,000 Palestinians. Many of those people have homes of their own. They have businesses, farms, money invested in land in the West Bank. The fear is that many of these people may not have the documentation to prove it that would stand up in an Israeli court, leading to fears that many Palestinians may be pushed off their land. Peace Now is a rights group here in Israel. Here's their take on it.
One of the reasons that Israel prevented this move or even stopped this in 1967, right after it occupied the territories, was that it realized that sort of an act of registration of land is an act of a sovereign country. But now this government has no limits and no restrictions on their annexation moves, and they're utilizing every power that they have in order to advance it.
Now, the point there is that Israel actually abandoned this type of policy in 1967 when it first occupied the West Bank, because the feeling was that it didn't have legal standing to do this. In the meantime, in recent years, West Bank expansions or annexations have expanded rapidly, often through violent means. Many people viewing this as a way for Israel to expand or annex, depending on how you look at the situation, through legal means.
And that kind of reaction is being shared on the international stage as well.
Yeah, so we're hearing condemnation coming from the United Nations, the Secretary General calling this illegal. The EU is saying that this is a move in the wrong direction. Of course, when it comes to matters concerning Israel, everyone looks to the United States. President Donald Trump hasn't made a comment yet today on this, but if there's one thing with President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for the things they may agree on when it comes to Iran or Gaza, one thing they disagree on is the West Bank. Donald Trump has repeatedly, in both of his terms, condemned Israeli expansion in the West Bank. Here's what he had to say back in October.
The West Bank is, don't worry about the West Bank. Israel's not going to do anything with the West Bank, okay? Don't worry about it. Is that your question? They're not going to do anything with the West Bank. Don't worry about it.
In the time since that clip, though, the few months, expansions have continued. This new policy is now being implemented. Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, of course, did meet in Washington last week. The West Bank was on the agenda. Nothing came of it, with those two leaders right now squarely focused on Iran, David.
Cameron, thanks very much.